Adam, why are you a freaking liar? Why do you lie?
You know what? If you did say that, Brian,
get the hell off my show. You don't deserve to be on my show. Yeah, I did say it. I said it constantly, you lying scumbag. And you want to interject my parents into this conversation? You scum. Go to hell.
Brian Shapiro has yet another meltdown, and this caller pushes him straight over the edge. Watch Brian Shapiro explode as this debate about Candace Owens versus Andrew Wilson turns into absolute chaos. Before we cringe watch this video, YouTube shows me about 99% of you guys are not subscribed. I challenge you to a debate in the comments to tell me why. Like and subscribe for daily uploads because the meltdowns never stop here on America Only.
But let me start out by saying this. What was Andrew Wilson's objective?
To hold Candace to a higher standard about what she said about Erica and the whole situation?
No, wrong. By his own standards, that's not what he said. He was there to prove that Tyler Robinson was responsible and the only person that was responsible for murdering Charlie Kirk. Did he do that?
Yeah, I think so.
You did. Okay, so when he was asked, what are the percentages that you think Tyler Robinson was responsible, what was his answer?
Between like 75%, 85%?
75%, correct. Let me ask you a question. Is that beyond a reasonable doubt to convict somebody of murder? 75%?
I think that's within the error margin.
No, it's not. When you say that someone is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, that doesn't mean I'm 75% sure. Adam, so let me ask you again. When a jury finds somebody guilty, when a juror, I should say, finds somebody guilty of murder, are they told by the judge, if you're 75% sure, convict him, or do you have to be 100% sure? Which one is it, Adam? What's the standard in our country?
Okay, Brian, you guys constantly will finger right-wingers as guilty even when all the evidence hasn't came out yet. Remember that little boy in the MAGA hat who was smiling in the face of that drunken native beating that deerskin drum in his face? You guys were ready to go after him. And Kyle Rittenhouse, he was proven innocent in a court of law. I mean, you guys are such hypocrites. Like, do you ever take a look in the mirror?
What does beyond a reasonable doubt mean?
Obviously.
What does beyond a reasonable doubt mean?
Without a shadow of a doubt. I know what it means.
Okay, good. Oh, hold on. Don't get angry at me, Adam. We're having a conversation. No need to get upset at me.
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. No problem, Adam. Apology accepted. Okay, so beyond a reasonable doubt, we agree. Okay. So is it beyond the shadow of a doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt when somebody says I'm 75% sure? Simple question, right, Adam?
I think that you're miscontext.
No, I'm not. No. Patrick Bet-David asked him point blank, how sure are you percentage-wise that Tyler Robinson is guilty of murder? His response was 75%. In a courtroom, we both agree, right. Beyond the shadow of a doubt. He was there to prove that Tyler Robinson was the only person responsible for allegedly murdering Charlie Kirk. My question to you is 75%, according to our courts, beyond a reasonable doubt? It's a simple question. Why won't you answer it?
I think, now you got me sounding like Candace, but I think that it's within the margin of error that he could be wrong. So
you're saying
75% sure.
Okay, so you're saying, all right.
There is a chance, though, I could be wrong.
Okay, so Adam, your definition of beyond a reasonable doubt in our courtrooms is 75%? I just want to understand your definition.
Brian, I am at least 75% sure that your hats are always stupid. You can't find one that fits the structure of your face because you look like a gargoyle. And yeah, I think most of us can agree on that.
Within this case, yeah.
No, not within this case. That's not how our justice system works. I'm not asking you just about one case. I'm asking you about our justice system when people are convicted, or not convicted, I should say, are charged with aggravated murder. What is beyond a reasonable doubt? And you're telling me if somebody is a 1 in 4, that would be 25%. You're going to convict somebody of murder if there's a 25% chance that they might be innocent, and that's your definition of beyond a reasonable doubt? I'm asking you trials are for juries to decide whether somebody is guilty or not. The point I'm trying to make to you, Adam, is beyond a reasonable doubt is not saying there's a 1 in 4 chance he might be innocent. If a juror is instructed and they believe that there's at least a 25% that somebody's not responsible for the crime, based on our own courts, you are not supposed to convict somebody. Beyond a reasonable doubt is not a 25% chance. The reason why I'm bringing this up, Adam,
Okay. But let me take it back to my question, since they both coincide with each other. What percentage of evidence did Candace show that Tyler's a patsy, France or Israel was involved?
Sure.
She said zero.
So first of all, okay. So hold on.
Conspiracy
So I'll answer.
You're riding Andrew's.
Sure. So first of all, I'll answer that. But just to be clear, if you say you're 75% sure somebody is guilty, you lost the argument because that's not beyond a reasonable doubt. Now that we can move past that,
No, we're not going to move past that. Again, I'm going to bring up Kyle Rittenhouse. You guys had the video evidence. There was literally footage of what happened to him. He was being attacked. And you can say all you want about, oh, why was he there? I mean, he was there to do exactly what he did. He was there to calm all the protesters, keep them in line. If anything went haywire and he was attacked, just like he was, he provided self-defense. But yet that's not good enough evidence for you? Dude, like, for real, there's something wrong with you, Brian.
I'll answer your question. So Candace Owens said in the debate that she didn't have any direct evidence that Israel or France was involved. Her entire basis, and I agree with that. I don't think Israel was involved either. And I am not a Candace defender, but I will say this. There is a lot of circumstantial stuff and a lot of questions that are raised that she brings up, which I think are very, very fair, including this. I will list you some of them. Why did they pave over the crime scene 3 days after? That's number one. Number two, you have professionals, even a guy who killed Osama bin Laden, who was a Green Beret, who talked about the murder weapon that was allegedly used and the exit wound, which didn't exist, and the wound in his neck. We also talked about no autopsy. She talked about the fact that his clothes weren't examined at all for anything.
Brian's
the fact
computer,
that
not mine.
members of his security detail were more concerned about taking evidence away from the crime scene than providing CPR immediately. That was also extremely bizarre. Why are a lack of fingerprint evidence on the weapon? All the fingerprints that they found on the weapon, Tyler Robinson's fingerprints were the least recognizable on the weapon. We can add that as well. It's more circumstantial evidence, or I should say questions that have not been answered. She raises a lot of very fair points and that nobody can really answer. We're hoping that in a courtroom they're answered. I thought she made a very fair case that there are a lot of unanswered questions, and then we can go to Erika Kirk's behavior, her bizarre behavior from day one after this happened, not acting like somebody who is a grieving widow. Does that mean that Erika Kirk was involved? I'm not so sure to make that leap, but she brought up some very, very valid questions that Andrew could not answer. Also, I will say, if your entire basis
Can I address the Erika Kirk thing, though?
in one moment, in 1 moment, I'm almost done, and then I will let you address that. Andrew Wilson had to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, because that is according to our courts, the same thing that they use, that Tyler Robinson is guilty and was the only person responsible. The first couple minutes, as I mentioned, he said there's a 75% chance. The man paid $300,000 to debate Candace Owens on what Tyler Robinson is charged with, and he couldn't even name the charges. He was not prepared. He embarrassed himself, and I am not a Candace Owens fan. I believe they are both grifters. I don't believe they are both good people, but I do believe there is a part of me that believes that Candace Owens wants to know the truth, because I believe Candace Owens at one point was friends with Charlie Kirk, and this guy, Andrew Wilson, never was friends with either of them.
Dude, when did leftists become the conspiracy theorists? I mean, you guys were the ones ragging on QAnon and, Project 2025. Like, you guys are the conspiracy theorists. Like, let's not forget there was a time when the left and the right liked Alex Jones, but before the whole breakup in like 2012, yeah, you guys have just completely shifted. You guys are insane. You are literally mental asylum patients.
Go ahead, sir.
Well, when it comes to Erika Kirk, I don't think it's anyone's business to tell this woman how she needs to grieve.
I'm not telling her. Hold on.
Herself to the public.
I'm not telling her
No,
how
I'm saying you.
No, but hold on. In general, Adam, let's just talk about this. I think this is important. In general, I don't think that it's people that are telling her how she should grieve. In general, what people are saying is it's despicable and disgusting. She can do what she wants. Example. When you brag about the merchandise you sold at your husband's memorial service, it's despicable. When you have a camera person with a cell phone and you tell them to record you grieving over an open coffin of your husband, it's despicable. When you are showing up to events weeks after your husband was murdered with fireworks as if you're some sort of rock star, it's despicable. Her behavior is very bizarre, and it's not the behavior of a normal grieving widow. It's very weird. She can do what she wants. I'm simply just saying it's very strange and bizarre behavior of somebody that just lost their husband. That's all.
Okay, and I would say that maybe this is her way of grieving by going through and working with her husband's company and trying to maintain that while she's grieving.
So
I go back to the point that nobody can tell her how she's supposed to.
I'm not telling her how she should.
According
so hold on. You
Brian
think,
or
hold on. Again, I'm repeating myself again. She can grieve the way she wants to. You're saying that that's her process to brag about selling merchandise at her husband's memorial service? That's her process? Are you kidding me? You're normalizing that?
People hold on. Some people, when they grieve, they'd rather work through their grief by doing work.
I agree. Okay, hold on. Adam, I understand that some people, when they grieve, they want to keep their mind busy and work. I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. If she wanted to do behind the scenes stuff with Turning Point, I think that's very fair. That's not what we're talking about here. I don't define work as bragging on a video about how much money you made selling merchandise. That's not working behind the scenes with Turning Point. That is a bizarre behavior of a woman less than yeah.
Wow, Brian, you seem to have a lot of problems with what women do with their bodies. Shame on you.
Yeah, okay, she's the head of Turning Point because her husband was just murdered. Okay, buddy? That's why she's the head of Turning Point. Her husband was just murdered.
Brian, I saw it in real time.
Great. Then you should agree with me. Then you should die. Okay. So what? Does that change? That makes me wrong for what I'm saying because you were there. Guess what? I know people that were there too. I'm friends with Hunter Kozak, who was on the microphone. Do you know how traumatized he was? Or Parker, that was 30 feet away. I spoke to Parker too.
Really?
Let me finish. Let me finish. Will you shut up and let me finish? You have no empathy, do you, you stupid moron? I was talking to Parker, get a job. 2 hours after Charlie Kirk was murdered, he was emotional with me on the phone. And I tried to be there for him as a friend. I know Hunter Kozak. Do you know how many death threats Hunter Kozak has had? He's the guy who was on the microphone, who was talking to Charlie in the last moments of his life. Do you know how many idiots out there and conspiracy theorists out there have been attacking Hunter? So don't you give me this, oh, I was there, Brian. I'm sorry you were there, but that doesn't change the fact that Erika Kirk's behavior is despicable and disgusting. And you know who agrees with me? People at Turning Point that I've talked to, because it's on video. Jack Posobiec agreed with me on video at Turning Point when I was talking to him that her behavior was a little bit bizarre. Okay. It's not a normal grieving process to brag about how much merchandise you sold at your husband's memorial service, you dope. And the fact that you would defend something like that, she has a right to grieve any way she wants to grieve. Okay. I guess so does Scott Peterson too. All right. I don't know if Erika Kirk was involved. All I do know is that she's a grifter. She's no different than Candace Owens. She's no different than Andrew Wilson. They're grifters. And the behavior is disgusting. And if a member of my family, God forbid, I don't want this to happen, was murdered, I would want people to ask questions. I would want to get down to the truth. I would want to know what happened. And the fact that you normalize somebody going out there with fireworks on a stage a week after their husband died, bragging about the merchandise that they sold at a memorial service. I'm sorry, dude. But
yeah, you would want to get to the bottom of it. But wouldn't you also want their life's work and their legacy to carry on after their death? I mean, what should she have done? Should she have shut down Turning Point, given it over to somebody else who was not related to Charlie at all? You are a buffoon. Straight up goofball.
Most of America disagrees with you. You are in a cult. Why won't you admit that, Adam? You are in a cult, man. Just admit it.
All right, let me respond. Is it any... First off, don't talk to me about empathy when Charlie just died. You called him a POS.
All right, pot him down again, dumbass. You have no idea what you're talking about. I thought Charlie Kirk was a really bad guy. But when I was on the air, I was emotional. And every single day when I talk about his murder, you dumbass, I say it should never have happened. It was horrible, and it's horrible for the country. When I call him a piece of crap, am I saying he deserved to die? Adam, I don't think you're smart enough to understand. That has nothing to do with empathy. I could still have empathy for him. I could still have empathy for his family. I could still say, and I've said it constantly, it shouldn't have happened. It's terrible. He didn't deserve to be murdered. Why are you conflating that with my personal feelings of Charlie Kirk? Have I ever said he deserved it? Have I ever been joyous of the fact that he was murdered? Are you not smart enough to differentiate the two between not wanting to celebrate his life, but not wanting to celebrate his murder? Do you not understand the difference? Adam, are you not smart enough to understand the difference? Okay, no, you're not. No, you're not smart enough. Because if you were smart enough, you wouldn't claim that I don't have empathy. If you were smart enough, you called him a piece of crap. You're damn right I did. I thought he was a bigot. I thought he was a racist. I thought he spread hatred. But that doesn't mean I think that he deserved to be murdered. Do you not understand the difference, dummy? Do you not understand the difference? Yes or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay, if you did, then you wouldn't have said that, dummy. So you don't think I have empathy because I think Charlie Kirk was a bad guy? Explain that way of thinking, dummy. You don't think I have empathy because I don't want to celebrate his life? So that means I don't have...
Are you going to...
Go ahead, stupid. Go ahead, stupid. Go ahead, stupid. Go ahead.
Okay. First off, you didn't condemn the left for their celebration, and you sold your parents...
Whoa. I didn't... First of all, what do my parents have to do with anything? That has nothing to do with this conversation. You see when I put you in a corner? First of all, I've condemned anybody. You're wrong again. You're a liar. You're not worth my time, Adam. You're a liar. I have been on the air constantly, and I said you should not be celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. And if you lost your job, I don't feel sorry for you. I have said that on the air. I have said that off the air. Adam, why do you lie on this show? You're not a serious person. I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you. You just said I didn't call out people. Adam, would you like to make a wager on that? Because I've called it out constantly on this show when I know people that were fired. And I said you shouldn't be celebrating when somebody was murdered. Adam, would you like to correct yourself? Because I've said that time and time again on this show. Adam, why do you... You know what, Adam?
Yeah. You let me respond to your...
Everything you say is a lie.
Hold on.
You scumbag. No, you don't. No, you hold on. No, you hold on. Everything you say makes you a scumbag. You lie, you misrepresent my words. I've been on the air constantly, and I said what happened to Charlie Kirk was awful. I've said people who have celebrated his death, it's despicable, and you shouldn't do it, you scumbag. Why do you lie? Adam, why are you a freaking liar? Why do you lie?
You know what? If you did say that, Brian,
get the hell off my show. You don't deserve to be on my show. Yeah, I did say it. I said it constantly, you lying scumbag. And you want to interject my parents into this conversation? You scum. Go to hell.
Wow, Brian, what a meltdown. I don't even believe that you have any fans at this point. I think they just all love to cringe watch you, as am I. I mean, I'm like your biggest cringe watch fan at this point. But like literally all you do is cut people off, you mute them, you don't let them speak at all, and then you change the topics over and over again. So when they do get a chance to respond, it's not even to what they originally wanted to respond to. Yeah, you're despicable. You're disgusting. Go shave your stupid beard. Well, anyways, we just watched Brian Shapiro versus one of his MAGA call-ins, and he absolutely exploded. If you like clips like this, make sure you like and subscribe. As you can see in my analytics here, only about 1.4% of my viewers have subscribed to my channel. We appreciate your support, so please consider subscribing today. Well, thank you for watching. This has been America Only. Catch you on the next one.